did.
Okay.
And I just talked to Kathy, I know she's coming.
How's construction, you guys shoot, they had pretty decent weather.
Yeah, it's been nice. You get Eric and Will about money though, so we're not working there yet.
Barbecue's 3 months away.
We'll be there.
Early days,
Yeah.
So we need Kathy.
I'm learning a lot.
yeah, we have to have them to have 4.
used to
I
be
mean,
on the
technically
board
we
for
can
the
discuss, we
barbecue
can't make any,
Hall
like,
of
they
Fame.
can't approve the minutes. They
And
can't,
it's a constant,
you know, we can take public comment, but we cannot make
figuring
any
out ways of raising
decisions
money.
without a
And
forum.
barbecue is their biggest fundraiser.
So
And that's one reason why
Yeah.
we're moving, because they
now I'm
couldn't,
gonna have to.
in the bottoms, they couldn't get any more teams.
At time by.
Teams is where they make their money.
Yeah, so you'll just
That's why they basically moved out to the
change it,
Well, I
well,
guess
we'll wait till it's
we're
actually done, but it'll be,
Hoping very
and it's not
different
chairperson,
than
Right, it'll be-
starting it,
it'll just be Kathy.
and they were hoping to get sponsors as they were on the project.
Yeah, board
Should I
member.
write
They didn't fall through like.
No,
that.
she's Kathy, and it's
And I
board
don't
member
follow it
Kathy's.
as much as I used to, obviously, but whoever the development person is, lay in their lap.
Deputy,
It is, There's some messed up books somewhere.
Board
That's
member
not the
Kathy.
case.
I know they're finishing those 5
yes.
barns and they're finishing barns, but they haven't started the
It's a
arenas.
title.
That's a title. They haven't.
Start to what?
They haven't started the arenas. There's
Oh, they
two-
haven't?
2 arenas there.
Are the offices done?
That game show that 1%.
Have they moved the offices yet? I don't think so.
1%.
Where the, is that where they
I
stand on
don't
the
know where the
courthouse
offices are
square?
gonna be at.
No, it's called
On the job.
Oh.
Close,
Oh,
close,
really?
close.
No, no.
This is one where they start out with 100 people,
Huge.
and then
Well, hopefully they have
ask you
physical space
questions
for the Hall of
and
Fame. I mean, that was the
like,
original
for instance,
plan.
the 90%
I had an architect draw up something
90% of the people.
well before
should
they
know
were
that
thinking
they're
about moving. So,
But if you get it wrong, you're out.
Okay.
I
So
knew
it
you were
goes down
talking about that Hall of Fame
all the way
somewhere in
down
there. I don't know if
to
we ever
the
got
1%
on
question,
land
which
Oh.
Well, they need to have bricks and mortar
four
for the Hall of Fame.
100, so they've gotten out
Yeah.
until they got down to the 4. It's-
Yeah, I've never watched them.
Oh, I've got all the questions ready. I go, what are you doing on the couch? You're making us some serious money.
I would think I would do so good on game shows when I just know that.
Oh, my wife would love to do a game show.
I went to the Price is Right live for my 11th birthday.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
had the choice between that and a Demi Lovato concert, so it feels like a normal of a child.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, but the price is right.
I loved the
Price is Right though.
I was the youngest person in that place by far.
Oh, yeah. We did they had a Price is Right down at Branson that you could go to.
Mhm.
It was kind of like
This was like the touring one.
the
It wasn't
touring
the
one,
like
yeah, the touring one.
Yeah, it was Jerry Springer was the host.
I was there.
Were you really?
I mean, I don't know if it was the right night or whatever, but
It
yeah,
was-
it was Jerry Springer.
Yeah, it was Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The Inquirer magazine on TV,
Yeah. Yes.
or worse.
People were like, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was funny.
All right, well, this is not normal.
Yeah. We've even got public here. Hello, public.
Hi.
Two publics.
Do I count?
Yeah.
Just sitting in the back row, you know.
Yeah.
Normally the table is full, but we have a vacancy and 2 that are, one on vacation, one is sick, but I hadn't heard from the other 2, so I'm assuming there's traffic issues. My phone's in the other room.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't bring my phone in on purpose.
You want me to grab a mic?
I could go grab it.
What? Being with your knee and all.
It doesn't hurt to get up.
And you
and-
guys serve cookies?
Yeah,
We
no.
did not.
No,
Unfortunately, we did
we
not.
purposely do not serve refreshments at this meeting.
I'm having fun with you.
And if
We take the recreation.
Sometimes
I
there's-
was gonna say.
Recreation.
Sometimes there is coffee. It depends on how late you show up.
It would be
Well,
better.
It would be really, probably really stale by now if there was any left in the pot from this morning, so.
That's probably
A little
true.
burned, a little fried. Caffeine this late in the day, I'd never sleep till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Do that. Well, this is kind of like all my meetings this entire month. My one in DC got completely called off, so Otherwise I'd be in Washington DC tonight in a meeting.
It's been a long time since we've not had a quorum.
Yeah, I can't recall it.
Huh?
Since 2015, 16?
Yeah, it's been
Been since
a
I'm
long time.
Or
Maybe it's
Close one, close one.
Kathy's the only mystery so far? The others
Well,
are
we
on
know,
vacation?
we've actually talked to Kathy, so we know she's coming. It's just, we don't know about David.
maybe David's in Texas, isn't he?
Are you
Could,
serious?
I mean, it could be.
Oh, he said that in the last meeting.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it might be.
His wife's being treated.
I remember that.
Well, David's in
I was
Texas.
gonna say, do you
Oh,
remember him
did
saying
you?
that at the last meeting?
No, I
You
remember.
said that,
He
yeah.
just said
I remember Katie saying she was gonna be on vacation, but I didn't catch that David was gonna be gone. And Kathy, I just spoke to a half hour ago, but I don't know where she's at. Alright, so we're not gonna have a quorum, so, what will happen, just so that you all know, is we can provide our updates. We can't vote on anything, so meeting minutes from last month will carry over, but to be respectful for everybody that did get here on time, we do wanna, kind of move that along. Scott, as a board member that has experience from city council, can you call the meeting to order?
Officially.
What does
Officially.
your-
I'm gonna officially call this meeting to order.
Okay,
There you go.
We got attendance, the three of us, so.
we will note that.
First of all, obviously, we can't approve minutes, so those guys bypass that. Staff reports.
But we do have public comment.
I apologize.
That's okay.
You know, I've been wanting to say this for a while, so y'all in Merriam understand. I moved away from Merriam a long time ago, but I work out here regularly.
So we
because-
need name.
Oh,
And
sorry.
we know who you
We-
are,
yeah.
but for the record.
I
I know
am
who
Rebecca
you are.
Schultz, and I live in Leawood, Kansas, and I come to Merriam to work out 4 or 5 times a week because it is the only accessible place, truly accessible place in Kansas City. It's very welcoming. You have no idea. I brought Dylan, my buddy, in, he's in a manual chair, and we work out together, and he was like, when he first came, he says, Rebecca, have you seen the bathrooms? I said, yeah, why do you think I come here? The showers downstairs in the co-ed changing area are perfect. They're spot on. Y'all don't know what you created here, but we need to get it out there. That's all I'm saying.
How do we get it out there? More.
I work with the Disabled But Not Really Foundation in West Hamilton. And, we would like to probably potentially bring in a workout once a week kind of class for people who are like us in chairs and stuff or other accommodations, but that's what we know. And have a place to work out on a regular basis once a week, because having that community together in a place where we can all get together and use the facilities isn't seen very many places. It's a struggle. So,
Thank you. There's your people.
So what we will do, or what we need to do, is put you in contact with, first of all, we'd have to identify, if you're looking for a class, we'd have to identify an instructor. Maybe you have that. Put that person in touch with Chloe, who is our new fitness coordinator, and work together to kind of find time and place and our schedule, what we currently have, what works with our
Right.
schedule. So if you do not have Chloe's contact information, we'll make sure you get that tonight, and we can start those conversations.
thank you.
That's
I
how
think
the Veterans Administration is now here. I mean, those things, it's just putting people in contact with the right people.
And it may not work with Wes, but I volunteer for that organization as well as quite a few others in the Kansas State Board of Ed, so I'm kind of real connected on disability rights and inclusion. And I speak on it at the national level, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't see this anywhere. I have never seen this anywhere, truly.
So, well, we appreciate that feedback.
I know we talked about that a lot when we were designing this.
Oh, but we do have one
Years
small
ago.
error.
So-
When you took the disabled parking spots away and made them electric.
Now, that is being addressed.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
first, so I will give an update later in the meeting about that. Those were never taken away. The signage is confusing. They should always say, ADA should always rule. So the EV used last was supposed to be for ADA EV used last, but that signage is confusing. That signage has been taken down. It now is EV, but it's not EV only, it's ADA EV, so that we have the right number of EV ADA accessible spots, because per ADA code, they also rule the EV piece of it. We
Because
met-
I've seen a lot of cars without tags
Yes.
there.
We have met as a because we had one understanding, there was a different understanding, so that sign has come down. We are going to be painting the non-accessible EV parking spots green, so that they're more visible. We're also looking at adding 2 accessible park, even though it's above the requirement, but we're looking to add 2 more ADA spots upstairs. We're checking the rise and run and slope and the requirements for that, if we can make that happen upstairs.
There's a really good one right downstairs. It's already there. When you pull straight through and you head north, well, head west, but it's on the north side where all the lines are. That would make a great van accessible spot for me, because there's only 1 parking spot I can use, so I go and take up 3 in parallel parks, so nobody locks me in, because nothing's worse than when somebody decides, oh, well, she's parked at an angle, I'm gonna park at an angle, and then I get out to my
yeah.
car and I'm like going,
Yeah.
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 We are reevaluating that from a parking perspective. But the
Yeah.
spots we're looking at are upstairs, because the one thing with ADA code is walkways. And when you start adding, we are looking at maybe adding, depending on how this all works out, because there's the request for additional EV chargers. So what they're looking to do is potentially add 2 spots upstairs, evaluate if we need to add more EV chargers. We'd have to add another accessible EV charger, because there's a ratio there of EV chargers even, and what that would look like. But you start getting into walkways and paths and cross paths, and that becomes very complicated, especially in a predetermined structure.
well, and I know I parked upstairs the other day, and I don't do 1-story elevators, because I've gotten trapped in them before, and when you can't just get up there, it ain't a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's rather terrifying. So I came down, but the rampage to get on it, I know you guys probably face code, but you gotta go out into the street to get up on the sidewalk to go on the route.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then if you look at the route from the one side, the grass is down really low. It's like a 4 or 5 inch drop, and my wheel could go off there, and then I'm rolling down that frickin' hill, there's
Yeah.
nothing there, so that's not a safe place either. So some
Right.
things that
We're
maybe,
working on it.
what?
I just said we're working on it.
I think it's great. You guys are working on it. I'm singing your praises.
Yep, we are working on that, so
Thank you.
thank you for your praises, we appreciate that.
You know I'm always around.
We see you, we know who you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great night.
You too.
No, we don't, we're only giving updates, we're not voting on anything, and I had
Really,
Scott
do you have
call.
public
Yes.
comment?
I had
I had a
Scott.
couple questions.
Okay.
Mine were in regards to the director's report, so would you like me to wait to that point?
I'm probably gonna address it in the director's report.
Okay, so I'll stay quiet if you address my questions before I ask.
It's
Good.
Sound good?
Okay. All right, again, okay, so item 3 on there is approving the board, and we'll wait to move that to the next meeting. So we are up to, excuse me, the director's report.
Yep, so, obviously there was a detailed memo in the packet, that's why I don't bring this in. I have a few updates to the information that I shared there. The summer postcard, promotion ended on July 15th. There were 74 coupons redeemed. This is 14 less than what was redeemed last year, just for a comparison. Staff did send a thank you letter to the households that redeemed the coupon with an invitation to consider an annual membership. The letter included, these 4 incentives. We did 4 guest passes, a trial month of the Fit Class Pass, a fitness program consultation, and 1 personal training session. This is the same offer that we offered like at the beginning of the year, and that offer expires August 31st. We have, as I stated in our director's report, sent 8 documents to be translated into Spanish. This will be Latin American Spanish. As the census indicates, the majority of our Spanish-speaking residents are from that area. These documents included rental and membership forms and informational flyers. Staff will not assume that someone requires Spanish documents, but plan to provide both copies for their convenience if there appears to be a language barrier during our conversations. In addition, the city as a whole has identified 4 staff members who have passed a Spanish fluency test that are available to help translate if we have translation issues during business hours and if person clarification is needed. We have used that multiple times already since that program has started, and it is extremely helpful. And lastly, while not perfect, we have adapted to use Google Translate when we need to. This isn't just for Spanish-speaking residents, but there are many other languages spoken that we don't necessarily have translators for. So our goal is to be inclusive, as inclusive as possible with all residents, and find ways that we can serve them using tools that are available to us. The other update I have is just an FYI to our revenue. July 2024 surpassed revenue from July 2023 on Sunday by $400. So with 10 days remaining, we are well on our way to having a record-setting month. And then we have received highlights for fall in-house, which means they're delivered to the mail house, and they should be expected to hit mail boxes in the next week. So everybody should get their fall highlights and be looking for their fall highlights. So any questions that the board members have for me?
Latin American Spanish is just a dialect?
It's different than European Spanish. So Spaniards from Spain speak a different dialect than Latin American
But
Spanish.
still understandable.
It's understandable,
Yeah.
yes. But just like other countries, I mean, even in Latin America, there's different dialects.
Sure.
We are using the professional translation, like if you were to do something in English, there's a standard that English is spoken, so that is the standard that we're choosing to use. It's the same translator that does our highlights, so you'll notice in the you'll notice in the fall highlights, there's a QR code that people can go to read the highlights in Spanish. So we are trying to do it on that professional level, similar to how we communicate everything we do to our residents in English. Did that answer your questions, Billy? Or did you have something else?
I had a couple. I wanted to offer SpanishDict.com. Google Translate does work, but it's a little bit clunkier than Spanish Dict, like dictionary. And they specialize in Latin American Spanish. I used it when I was learning. And it's a little smoother, the translations, less robotic feeling. I was also curious, in the director's report, it mentioned that the Dolphins had always finished last, like in known history. Is that correct?
Yes, since I have been here, we have never placed above 9th place in All City Swim.
Why is that?
Because you have to qualify for swim by time. And we had a small team
Oh,
compared to the Olathes and the Lenexas and in Johnson County. So this year we had more people qualify. We had better qualified swimmers. We're able to train them year round. We offer a monthly dolphin prep class that kids participate in. So being able to offer swimming year round, our swimmers are better.
okay.
So
Well, I'm glad that's improving. And then the last thing I wanted to ask about from the director's report was the Brown Park surface vandalism. It's about $3,000 to cut out and replace, and we're not because we're not sure that it's cleanable at all.
it's not
We've
cleanable.
tried to clean it.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had anti-graffiti paint. The problem is it's just so porous,
Yeah.
and we don't want to. How do I want to say?
You will unbond the bonding.
Unbond the bonding agent, and then we won't want that playground to fail. In other words, then it would be unusable.
Okay.
So the unfortunately a very expensive alternative, but it would be just to cut out and replace it so
Yeah.
it's brand new.
Yeah,
And
it's-
the,
and
and the
there-
alternative is to take it all out, which is tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, when I was reading the report, it sounded like it was not 100% certain that it couldn't be repaired, but we're just gonna replace it, that section anyway.
Oh, no,
Before we
it's-
tried repairing, the,
No, it's just that we had tried to, we had to go to the playground company and get their recommendations for cleanup, in which they
Okay.
did. We followed those, and then we also had an anti-graffiti paint.
Yeah,
So
I was
that's
gonna
what we
suggest
took-
that too.
That's what took it off all the other
I
stuff. yeah.
believe the sentence reads, unfortunately, the methods recommended are not working. And there is a concern that any tougher product will damage the surface.
yeah. And I mean, if I owned the playground, I would try something that might damage it because it might not. If it might, then it might not, right? But that's,
But if you
Yeah.
damage
I hear
it,
you
Then
now.
we're closing the playground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you,
We can cut it out and replace it
we
in a
would then
day.
have to test it with an impact ball. I mean, there's, yeah. it would-
Okay.
It is more
it
than
would
just,
be-
at our level, replacing it is a safer alternative, because if we damage it, once we use that tougher product, we have to immediately test it. And if it fails, then you have to close the playground until you can get it fixed. At this point, we have made the decision that instead of expending the labor and the time to potentially fail the playground and then close it, we can do this repair in a day for a portion of what the cleaner would cost, what the labor would cost, and then the potential of still having to close the playground and then wait for the repair. So,
It's similar to the repair that we did underneath the roller slide. It's just in a much bigger scale.
yeah,
And if the playground gets nicked by a mower, I could tell you that it's like $500 a nick. So that's
Wow.
how expensive this product is. So we want to make sure to provide, the best possible surfacing, and then also make it last as long as it possibly can, because it's just super expensive.
It's still usable.
And yeah.
okay. Well, thank you.
Anything else? I think we're ready for your,
on that update, any other questions about the director's report? Okay, then I'll move on to the membership report. Again, I don't have a lot to add to what was included in the memo in regards to, to the membership. Obviously, we're still moving along at a nice pace. We're still positive for the year in comparison, while summer memberships, again, as I stated in the memo, we've got, we're up over last year, and as I suspected, it is true. Staff has been pushing people to that option versus the monthly option, because people forget to cancel and then they get upset. And actually just handled an email like that today, because they didn't read their document, even though we tell them, but it is, we do our best. Visitation, we are looking strong again for the year. As we stated, June beat June, and it's actually a record-setting June. We are looking to break July significantly. I looked today, July of 2024, we are 2,700 visits down. This was as of Sunday, because I didn't look at the visits from Monday. So we're 2,700 visits below 2023. That would require an average of 270 visits per day. Our average attendance for July of 23 was 447 per day. July of 2024 is averaging 531 per day. So we will easily blow by July of 2023. Day visits for July of 2024, we are 507 below the same time frame of 2023. That's an average of 50 per day. The average visitation for July 2023 was 90. The average visitation for 2024 is 109. So again, we should easily set some more records for July of 24. We might not surpass our best month of June, but we will blow by July for sure. So it's exciting to see that we're still seeing consistent growth. We know at some point it will level off, and we are expecting that, but while we're growing, let's enjoy our positive pieces. So I'll answer any questions about anything related to those.
Questions?
Okay.
Good, all right, ready to move on, Assistant Director's report.
Okay. First, program evaluation, Make Music Day. And then I looked up last year and had roughly about 75 people that came and participate. This year was a little harder. I know in the document it says 35 and then 10, just the way that the heat and we had to move inside. Probably had as many people, but it was harder to it's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but it was still a pretty good event. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and be a little bit nicer next year. Any questions about Make Music Day? Remember, this is the one that's done all around the world. All around the world?
Mhm.
Yeah, all around the world. So Renee thought it would be neat that Merriam participate. And then you can see in the metro Kansas City area, they have, we were part of all those live concerts, which was pretty cool. Next thing we have is Flags for Freedom evaluation. This is obviously the first year that we've kind of taken over. And Anna, maybe if you wanna add anything, since I wasn't really, I came as a spectator, but other than that, or even Scott, if you wanted to talk a little bit about how it went for the first year. Looks like we're going to be getting some new equipment to mark the fields and make it a little easier for marking the fields, so that'll be exciting. We've already received that equipment. And thank you for Jenna for doing the research kind of behind that. And so, any questions about Flags for Freedom? Did you guys all get a chance to at least see the flag field? And good. Next one's Family Fun Friday evaluation at Quail Creek. Event attendance was around 200, so it was pretty good. Thanks to the mayor, he grilled some hot dogs, and Tom, thank you in my absence. Normally that's something I would do. So thank you very much for taking the reins and doing some grilling.
So since that grill is small, can we like add a Weber grill or something next year?
Oh, we certainly do.
You know, they're pretty, and they're very portable.
We used to actually get,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, we used to actually get DMP's portable grill, and it was an event grill, but we have lost the ability to access that at this time, so it's, yeah.
We actually have a gas grill that we could augment it to, throw the gas grill on the trailer and bring that. Could be a possibility too.
We can't use charcoal outside of that grill because it's permanent. And if you bring a stationary charcoal grill, the chance of fire is, and we have to hold ourselves to the same standard we hold our residents to, so it would have to be some type of gas grill.
Could we make a note the next year to look at, to add a grill?
If you're, yeah.
Some
And
kind.
With a big grate.
And if you'd like to ask me to purchase a $1,200 event grill like we do at Chatelaine. She looks at, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the bigger grills that we have are obviously at our 2 shelter locations, and all the rest of the parks just have a small grill that, like, if you were with your family. And we've used the small grill before. Like it said, if you start earlier, or you can grill on that grill. It just takes a little longer.
Or Seaboard would provide one.
Yeah,
They have a pork division, did you know that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Would they ever give us anything?
They sometimes sponsor Turkey Creek Festival.
Yeah. And there's that one time that about 30 of their employees ran in our run.
Oh, yeah.
And they were very helpful with they used to be a bag sponsor for the 5K run. So, yeah. Any questions about Family Fun Friday?
You still want to say part of it?
I did not hesitate.
I know, I heard you.
That's alliteration.
Cruise night. Remember this year we're having 2 of them. So when I compared it from last year, it was a month earlier, so it wasn't. We had 350 people and 100 cars. This year we had 200 people and 70 cars. But we are having another one. So when we have our other cruise night, that'll be easier to compare, cause it'll be that we just had one rather than have two. But I think the band was really good and it was a good event, like it always is. Then as far as upcoming events, this Friday we have a We Scream 4 ice cream, being 4 years old. The community center is, that is. It's gonna be from 6 to 8 in the outdoor pool. Mermaid and pirate show and some free ice cream at Polar Ice. It should be a lot of fun. And then the next one's pencils to paper, brush to canvas, thank you. Postcard, that's their next exhibit. It's gonna be starting August 1st. And then, like I mentioned, the next cruise night is gonna be August 10th at the Marketplace from 6:30 to 8:30. And then concert in the courtyard, that is going to be August 16th, right outside here, 6:30 to 8. Troubadour Retrievers are gonna be performing, they're a really good group. And then the only program, I guess I have two, was the Farmers Market Update. I did run the numbers from last year to this year. 2023 was 7,299 shoppers, and this year we're at 8,789 shoppers. So that's a difference of about 1,490 shoppers. So that's a great increase for the same time from year to year.
So I don't know if you heard this.
I don't hear so good.
Ingrid made the comment today that whatever's going on at the Overland Park Market, we're starting to see different vendors come to us and ask to be daily vendors, which will then bring more foot traffic to ours. So we are probably going to see I think Overland Park is gonna see a fallout until whatever is done there is settled. But we are starting to see an impact from what's happening in Overland Park.
That's the most vendors, spots filled I've seen since I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost every one of them is filled, so
Yeah.
it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Because that's what it does bring people in and that's what you need. You know,
Yes,
people
yes.
come walking,
Well,
spend their money or.
as soon as they get to see how easy it is to park at our facility, hopefully they'll still stick around with us.
Well, and maybe so too. I mean, you would hope they would, that, you know, that show a little loyalty to it. And again, if you provide the things that they want, I mean, I think, and I think we do. I think we've got a great variety of different vendors and stuff there.
And parking is key.
So,
What's that?
Parking, I think, is key.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
Close it
that's-
down.
There's no else, you just park in, go up and get your produce, and you're in and out so much quicker and faster.
And they can park right.
Yeah,
back
right there,
right
yeah.
to it.
Yeah. So that's very, very exciting. And then the second thing is Turkey Creek Car and Motorcycle Show. In September, we're kind of gearing up for that, and hopefully remember last year was the first year we went past 300 cars. So I think it was 318,
315.
315.
That's a
So
good
we're
show.
hoping to beat that, yeah.
What's the date on that?
Second Saturday, the 14th.
14th.
Yeah, the logo's set, so be prepared, we'll be asking for volunteers if you haven't already been hit up by Julie.
People help on barricades, wayfinding, telling people, you know, that are new to Merriam where to park, that type of thing. Yeah. Okay, that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Questions for Dave? All right, new business.
So this is just an update, so it's hard to tell today. First of all, Abby is at home, expecting a baby by the end of the week. So she will be gone for 12 weeks. So Jenna is filling in while she's here. I will likely be gone in August, not likely attending that meeting. So it'll probably be Dave and Jenna show in August. But on July 11th, I received an email from Laura Sagan, and she resigned her position on the Park Advisory Board. Her husband has accepted a position with the city of Ames, Iowa. So they are in the process of relocating in a very short period of time. She was very disappointed that she has to resign, but happy for her husband's opportunity. So I just wanted to update you guys as to kind of the next steps for filling this vacancy. I had a conversation with the mayor after evaluating the timing, everything that's going on. I felt like I needed to bring it to the board that she had resigned before we posted the position. So staff proposed to Mayor Pape that the vacant position will be promoted and posted during the month of August with the review of applications the first week in September. That's about when I believe I will be returning to the office. Upon review, staff will complete a preliminary interview and make a recommendation to Mayor Pape. Since it is Mayor Pape's appointment, he will meet with the recommended candidates and make a recommendation to council for confirmation. The appointment will fulfill the remaining term through December 31st of 2025. And just so y'all, it's been a minute, but this is the same process that we have followed now for the last several appointments. So nothing new to the process, just it is an at-large position. What I will be looking at is making sure we have equitable representation across the ward. So ideally, I wouldn't have 3 people from the same ward sitting around this table. I would do 2, 2, and 1. That would be the ideal, based on applications. If the best candidate can fill that, that is ideally what we like to do, so that we have good representation across the city. So we will make that decision as soon as we get applications.
She would gone effective immediately?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I took her resignation,
Yeah, okay.
was effective immediately. Since she said they have to be there in less than a month,
Gotcha.
so,
Pretty quick.
yeah, pretty quick. So, I will answer any questions about that process, but, after speaking with the mayor, he thought that was an appropriate time frame to kind of start the process, and he was on board with, I usually go through the applications and limit who we interview. I don't interview everybody that applies, so. Any questions?
Next thing is public art, and I think that representative's not here, so we'll pass by that. And next item is adjournment.
I guess we'll just dismiss, because we can't.
So,
Yeah, you can't even, not even a motion,
Yeah,
yeah.
We're out of here.
we'll just document that this will be attached to it just as a recap of what we discussed in this. So we'll attach this and the June minutes to the August meeting. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us. This is one of the reasons why we try and ask. I forgot that David had told us. I had heard Katie, but I didn't hear David, so it happens.
I forgot they said that
Until I called. It's okay. Thank you guys, enjoy your evening.
I'm sorry.
We figured it was traffic, cause they
Was it?
said that
Yeah,
there
they said
was
if traffic was bad.
A train.
The train, yeah.
So in Spain, there's actually
We
a
get
second
that.
language, not just Spanish, there's also something called
See you later.
Bye,
Castilian,
Scott.
which is
Oh,
very,
Castilian, sure.
very
Bye,
different, it's
guys.
very
See you
different than
soon.
Spanish.
Yeah, when I
Ask.
wasn't even gonna do it, I got off the
And
phone,
in Spanish,
like,
they do speak,
we're not
they
gonna
have
have
a
quorum, so we
third
might as well
person
just go
plural,
ahead
like
and
we would say you
get
all.
started.
There's a whole conjugation just
So,
for
I
that,
get it.
like talking to a group.
Lots of dialects in the United States.
Yeah, there is, that's true.
See ya.
Not had it
It
before.
was.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
I will put it in writing, but I won't be here August.
Could you tell me the name of the website that you recommended for Spanish?
Spanish Dict, D-I-C-T.
Okay.
They, if you're interested in like learning it, they also have a word of the day thing that I subscribe to that's really neat. But their translation is very good.
Okay, good.
And there's certain words like Google doesn't get at all.
Mhm.
Of course, it doesn't do any language with Spanish.
I'm looking
Right.
forward to.
But I don't know if there's like a Mandarin Dict
It's
or a
really
French
fun.
Dict.com
Yeah,
or whatever.
There's so much.
But
Yeah, I
really
just
like-
wanted to make sure I heard you.
Yeah.
right.
Yes,
They just
D-I-C-T.
ask them to do
Nice.
theirs and they set them up and everything.
Yeah, I saw that, I mean, we linked to the Facebook page and I was like, gosh, look at all these events.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
It would be nice just to see him. It's been a long time since seen him. We used to play basketball quite a bit back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Did you play basketball with?
Her son.
Her son,
Oh, really? That's fun.
Tim Murphy and other people.
Tim Murphy's her friend.
No,
No.
Tim Murphy is.
Right.
The
I know.
gallery's
Yeah,
That's why I was
no,
confused.
her son is,
Yeah.
her son is
Bill
Stoll.
Stoll, yeah.
That makes sense.
He's a really good cornhole player.
What an accomplishment.
Have a nice one.